Hi there, traders, and welcome to Trade the Structure. Now, I'm just going to go over some crypto short entries that are potentially building that I'm seeing pretty much across the board at the moment, and it's got a lot to do with the momentum up that's just faded. We had a bit of a squeeze higher on most of which you can see on Bitcoin we're looking at the moment. I'll just go through Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, EOS, Litecoin, and a few others, just the ones I basically keep an eye on. So these, they're all looking like they've had a bit of a squeeze higher. So you can see there's been legs down, a bit of a base built here, bit of a pop higher, but they faded overnight. Pretty much in the US session, they're looking not too bad for a bit of a further squeeze higher, testing to these resistance zones for some of them. But they since have faded and broken that uptrend. So really what I'll be looking for pretty much across the board is some lower highs to play out and see if we can push back into those lows and test into those lows. So I'm looking at a 30-minute chart here, and you'll see Bitcoin longer term structure. We've got some support which is broken, and that's around that 45, 46,000 mark. And then it looked like it was going to retest into that zone and fail, but it failed a bit earlier. Okay, so we can see this 1, 2, 3 touches. It popped through, faded, popped through, faded, and that's this second time round. Once it broke through the highs, it pretty much gave up those gains, and now we're heading south. So we can see this uptrend. It had some higher lows holding. They've given way. So it's just really if we can pop higher, get that lower high come into play, and then work its way down. So that's what I'll be looking for on Bitcoin. And if you go across and look at Ethereum, it's much the same. We've had this squeeze high, which squeezed out a lot of these short sellers in here. A bit of a squeeze high, just a bit of a reset potentially. A double top up here, we call it a retest fail. And now the market's going down. So really what I'm looking for is that shoulder. Okay, you've got that initial reaction down. So you've got some stubborn holders that won't give up. It probably gets some buyers, bargain hunters jumping in. But then if you get that second bout of selling, that's when you start to see that there's going to be more unwinding of these longs through here, more negative sentiment, which could drive price down to those support zones around the 3,000 mark, give or take. Okay, and what you'll see also, and it's the same on Bitcoin, is the longer term momentum is starting to roll over. The shorter term momentum, which is the same as the 30-minute chart, it's sold down, and that's from that high. So you're really looking for that momentum sort of to pick up, maybe back to the zero line. This is the MACD, by the way, and then see if they can roll over from the zero line and start to expand lower. Okay, go to Ripple. Ripple, like I said, is much the same sort of price action, so not much to talk about there. We have retested into that area. You can see that support is now resistance retest. That's failed, and we've broken that uptrend. So it's squeezed out a lot of these buys that are built in here. It's popped up, we've pushed up, dragged in some more buys, and now I think there's potential to squeeze out a lot of these buys that are bought into Ripple through off that support there anyway. So again, just looking for that lower high, see if it can hold below these MAs and start to expand down. Longer term momentum suggesting that we've got some downward pressure coming. It's just that's the initial pop. We're looking for a bit of a, some bargain hunters, a bit of a shoulder to build, a bit of a rollover, maybe something like this, and then, for price to work its way south. Okay, EOS is much the same. You can see it's got this inside level. It was looking to retest up to this higher level at 2.97, say 3, give or take. Resistance failed a bit earlier, and we're starting to look like we're going to head south again. Again, same sort of price action. So I think all the ones we just mentioned, EOS, Ripple, Ethereum, Bitcoin, have got a bit of work to do. I don't expect them just to start driving down unless the overall share market start to get hit tonight in the Asian session, and then later in the European and US sessions tonight. So that's I'll be looking for later on some negative price action. Litecoin, much of the same sort of price action. We've got into resistance, that's failed. Sellers have come back in, and we're looking to squeeze out. We've got initially these sellers worked its way down, worked price down. They've been squeezed out of the action, so buyers have been sort of pressuring it higher. If this can hold, and we can hold a lower high into that, into Litecoin, then that could be much of the same. Squeeze out these buyers that have been buying price up since what was that? It's probably started Jan, a couple of days ago, really. We'll see how that goes. ADA, Cardno, not really looking at that one there. I've got that on my list, but that's not as nice price action. It's the same sort of thing. We're rolling over on the longer term momentum, but it's just whether it can sort of pop up, hold another lower high, and then work its way south. And we've got last on Binance Coin, which is into resistance, starting to fail a bit earlier, and again, same sort of price action. So I think there's quite a few that could really start to play out on the short side. I've got my eye out now. If it's completely wrong and they start to head higher, no problem. I'm just wrong. Okay. I want to enter off a shoulder. So shoulder being something like that. Okay. Now, if we don't get that kind of price action, we're going to come down. We don't break into new lows. I've got nowhere to box my risk, and by boxing my risk, I mean, okay, if that sort of thing happens, you want to say break through the lows you're selling, risk is above the highs, and you've got their lower high come to play, and market's pressing down. If I don't get that, I'm probably going to get something like, say for example, it doesn't break through the lows and it starts to work its way back up. Okay, and we just got buyers starting to support in here. Okay, and it's just wrong. No damage done. Right, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. If you like what you saw, you like what you heard, leave us a like, it'd be much appreciated, and feel free to check out the website. It's www.tradethestructure.com. All right, thanks guys, and we'll speak to you again soon.